2. Got it. And we're going to come in with the music. Let's go. There we go. There we go. All right, y'all, we got a minute before we get started. We can go. So thank you all for tuning in. All right, here we go. We're on another episode of the HBCU Daily GRND. I'm going to turn this music down so that y'all can hear me. Let me turn it off so y'all can hear me. Hey, y'all, welcome back to the HBCU Daily GRND. You know who I am, Omar Muhammad, helping you improve and progress in business and in life. Yep, we're back. We're here every Monday from 5 to 5:30. And we have a special guest. But before we get to our special guest, I want to say a couple of things. So the HBCU Daily GRND is a podcast, video cast, whatever you want to call it. We're here. And this is brought to you by the HBCU by Association. And I'll tell you more about that once we finish interviewing our guests. But you can find us on all of the social media by using HBCU by Association. We also have a website, HBCUbyassociation.com. The music that you heard is brought to you by Mike Ballard. I want to thank him for that. And I did say social media, well, I guess LinkedIn is considered social media, so you can find us there as well. So as you know, this is a podcast, video cast, a workshop for those who attended an HBCU and now are operating as an entrepreneur. So we're going up north to Lincoln. I shouldn't say that, but we're going up north because you're supposed to do the shout out. But anyway, let me bring you in so you can give a shout out because I just gave you the shout out. So our special guest is Cynthia. You go by Cindy though, right?
Cynthia or Cindy.
All right. So I was calling you Cindy the other day and people are like, no, that's not her name. Okay, yeah, whatever. But Cindy Johnson, she has a company called Cindy J Cosmetic Labs. So welcome to the HBCU Daily GRND.
Yes, thank you so much, Omar, for having me. I really feel like it was heaven sent, God blessed, when I met you at the MBDA Minority Symposium workshop. That was just phenomenal. And ever since then, we've been connecting on a great level, a positive level. So it's always good to expand that network of positivity. So thank you, Omar.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you for agreeing to be on the podcast. So I said we're going up north this time. This week we're going up north. We were down. So like all of the universities are either southern or some are up north. So you just happen to be up north. So give a shout out to your HBCU, if you will.
Yes, definitely shouting out Lincoln University, the first HBCU, the first historically Black college or university to give actually accredited degrees. We always have this feud of who's first between Cheney and Lincoln, but Lincoln is the first to give out accredited degrees. And also shout out to the basketball team, the women's basketball team. We just won the CIAA for Lincoln University here in Baltimore. So that was phenomenal too. I'm so happy for my girls.
All right. Well, congratulations. So let me also tell you, you are the first one between Lincoln and Cheney to come on the HBCU Daily. I should have said that. Oh man, that don't cost. All right, Cheney folk, that means you all need to step up and come on the show. Y'all can be the
first.
See, I will start something. All right, so let's get back to the workshop, whatever you want to call this. So every time I bring a guest on, I always talk about 4 quadrants of an HBCU, and it just happens to spell HBCU. So the H is for, and tell me which one resonates with you. So the H is for homecoming. The B is for Black excellence. So it could be anything on campus. The C is for clubs and organization. And the U is for a united place on campus that students congregated. So which one resonates with you? Or if all of them.
Well, all
Say it
of them,
again.
of course, all of them, of course. But you, I would definitely say, is the number one thing, that unity, that camaraderie of different types of students, different types of people, different types of organizations, just coming together just to celebrate just their school and history. So, and especially with me being on the basketball team and the volleyball team, it was always about unity.
Absolutely. All right, we got to talk more about that. All right. So was there a special place on campus for you that you would, no matter what, I'm gonna go to that place?
Yeah, the basketball court.
Oh,
That was it.
basketball. All
Yes.
right.
Even to do, studies, just to do like homework assignments or reports, or again, shooting around, or, being with my teammates. The basketball court was like my sanctuary.
All right. So what position did you play?
I played the 1, 2, and 3, point guard, shooting guard, and small forward.
Oh man, we gotta get out. See, you didn't tell me that we gotta get out there on the court so we can play.
I knew that was coming.
I didn't know you played ball too. All right. So you also play volleyball too, right?
Yes, I also played volleyball. Mhm.
Okay. All right. Well, good deal. All right. So what was your major at Lincoln?
So I majored in chemistry with a minor in mathematics, and I always lived in the areas or the dorms where it was close to the science building. So I won't, of course, have that long walk. But yes, chemistry and minored in mathematics.
I hear you. Did y'all hear what she said? Chemistry, which is already tough. What was tough for me? My major was accounting. It was tough for me. And then mathematics. And you said it with a smile too.
Yes,
All right. So how did you get involved with entrepreneurship? Did that come from the university, or where did that come from?
So entrepreneurship in general came from network marketing after college. So one of my friends called me and said, "Hey, you need to take a look at this network marketing company. It's called ACN." And it was a way for people to pay their bills through the IBO, get paid, build a team, all those different things. But I learned that everyone had the same mindset. Everyone had that positive mindset, that ambitious mindset to getting things done. And I thought to myself, I knew I wanted to be a chemist in general, but I never thought about starting my own business. And thank God for ACN, because my mindset just shifted. It was time for me to start my own business, or if it wasn't at that time, I knew I was going to be an entrepreneur.
Oh, wow. Wow. All right. So ACN network marketing, I know when I was in network marketing, it was all about the sales piece, but also about that personal development. I love personal development. That's why when people say, "Omar, how are you doing?" Regardless of how I feel, I'm always improving and progressing, because energy to me is everything.
Yes,
So,
absolutely.
I really appreciate you sharing that as well. So from ACN to what? I mean, what really got you to just the place where you are now?
Yeah, so after like being in ACN for a couple of years, I went into getting my master's degree in
Okay.
cosmetic science, and also working as a cosmetic chemist, an entry-level cosmetic chemist in a contract manufacturing business. So all of those things tied up, it was like, girl, how in the world do you have any time for yourself? And it was hard, but it was definitely rewarding. Again, just learning the business mindset of ACN, and then expanding my knowledge, both hands-on and in the school, in the classroom. And it just made sense that it was, time for me to start my own business to help different entrepreneurs and small businesses.
All right, so I'm gonna go stay with that, starting your own business. So how did you came from a chemistry background, and sometimes on these campuses, people think that the entrepreneurs are coming from the School of Business, which it is, but it's across campus. So ACN got you understanding more about the sales piece and the motivation. How did you get to understand about the business side? Because you have the technical side already.
Right. So the technical side just helped me drive into that business side. I learned the skills and knowledge again through ACN, but I also had to do my own homework on the side. How to start a business, getting a business mentor. I went through the program SCORE. Yeah, it's really heavy in Baltimore. And
SCORE.org is the website for those who are interested. Yeah.
yes, and SCORE, one of my SCORE mentors helped me with that start. Now, as far as really leveraging my business, of course, I had to learn that on my own, but I had to start the business first. So
Yeah.
I was always a person where I need to jump in order to learn. I
Mm.
can't really sit back and try to learn something if I don't do it.
Right.
So, starting off, it was a little rough, but then as the time went on, you start to learn your mistakes, you start to grow from them. And again, you're leveraging your business to becoming more successful.
I love that. So you're in an industry that's challenging for some, but not for you. And that's the STEM industry. So, for those who don't understand what STEM is, everybody knows what STEM is by now, but help them out with that. And why did you decide? I know you talked about chemistry and mathematics. But why did you decide to stay there in the STEM industry?
For those of you who do not know, STEM is science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. And Lincoln wasn't a strong STEM school because they just started building like the chemistry clubs. They started building the science buildings there. So they were gaining that STEM attraction, and they started to even have like STEM summertime internships for high school students. So I saw the growth in that, thank goodness. But I actually learned about becoming a cosmetic chemist or just in chemistry in general in high school. I went to Baltimore Polytechnic Institute, PPI, orange and blue.
Absolutely.
Yes. And my chemistry professor just let me know, like, you're great at chemistry and I know you're great at basketball too, but what would happen if you, tore your ACL and he didn't want to like discourage me or anything. He just wanted me to have a plan B. So I thought to myself, I didn't really think about chemistry because I didn't want to do, the pharmaceuticals. I didn't want to do NASA. And he said, look into cosmetic chemistry. And as soon as he told me about that, I knew I was going to be a cosmetic chemist.
All right, so we got to break that down. I share some stuff with you. We're not going to tell what the name of the company is, but I share some stuff with you. And you basically told me it was just air. So break down, what is cosmetic chemistry? What is that exactly?
Yeah, so cosmetic chemistry is the study of cosmetic science. So you're studying how to formulate or how to make products. So like your makeup, your hair care, your skincare, and you're utilizing that chemistry background for different types of reactions. So for instance, just from knowledge, I know that your hair care products have a range of a pH of like a 4 and a 5. And pH just measures how acidic a product is or how basic a product is. So think of like lemons and citruses, how they had that acidic taste or had that acidic feel. So you want your hair to have like an acidic reaction or a pH reaction of between 4 and 5. So those are the different like chemistry basic principles that you would need in order to create your skincare, hair care, or makeup products. And then also we typically have a Bachelor of Science degree in chemistry. Some people will gain their Master of Science degree in cosmetic science like myself, but we'll also get into the field of manufacturing. We'll get into the field of sales, of marketing, of quality, microbiology. So you're utilizing, again, that chemistry background in order to expand that cosmetic science industry.
Interesting. So, the product that I had is different from the products that you make. So tell us what you do in your business.
Yeah.
What's your website? What's your website so people can go to your website while they're listening to us?
So my website is www.cindyjlabs.com. That's CINDY, the letter J, and then labs, LABS.com. And also my Instagram is @CindyJLabs. And what I do is I help business owners, I help entrepreneurs start their own line. So of course, I have to be very personable. I have to network with people. In order to gain clientele, I have to show, again, my positive mindset. I have to show that I'm here to help that business owner. So once I do gain that attraction from the business owner, we're going to figure out what type of product they want. Do they want a hair care product? Do they want a lotion, body care, maybe a men's care product? We're going to talk about different claims that they want. Everyone's raving about natural. Everyone's raving about clean beauty. So let's figure out what type of claims you want. And then we're going to talk about ingredients. We're going to talk about your packaging, your aesthetics, the color, the fragrance, all of those different things we need to know in order to actually make the product.
Wow. And how long have you been doing this?
So I've been an entrepreneur for 4 years now, but I've been doing cosmetic science for almost 7 years.
Okay. All right. So I don't mean to put people on the spot, but we want to make sure that, because, when people come to me with body products, the first thing I say to them, who's your insurance agent? Because if somebody breaks out, it's going to be some trouble, if you will.
Right.
So I know you probably get this a lot. Can you make this formula for me? Like I did, like I shared you. I mean, I wasn't trying to make no product. I was saying, can you look at this? When I found out about your background, so what's the first thing? Well, you said all the stuff that you do with, the individuals. What advice would you give to those individuals who are making these body products from their home kitchen? Maybe I'll put it that way.
So we call people that like to do their own products at home kitchen chemists. And we don't like to negate or to take away from what they have already been doing at home.
Absolutely.
And as cosmetic chemists, we also have to do a better job as showing or educating kitchen chemists and letting them know, hey, let's work together so that we can help you with your own product. So my advice to people like that is to get your products tested. And I mean testing as far as stability testing. Stability testing measures the shelf life of your product. We don't want your product sitting on a shelf and then after a month it starts to separate or it starts to change color or it just smells or looks bad. So we have to definitely do stability testing. One thing that is huge, and I'm not sure if you heard about the company Cow for Jergens. They just had a recall with their Jergens lotion. And something happened with their preservative testing. So it's very important to get preservative testing. And if you don't know what a preservative is is an ingredient.
I'm a businessman, not a chemist.
It's an ingredient where it kills off bacteria, yeast, and mold. So we don't want your product molding. We don't want it to have any type of adverse effects on your skin or the actual product. So you have to add a preservation system to preserve that product. So you may see some people putting products in like the refrigerator, or they may keep it in a real cold room. Sometimes that's not great because that shows me that your preservative system isn't great. So there was a whole recall on Jergens lotion. I think it's the Ultra Healing Jergens lotion. And it's because their preservative system did not kill off a certain bacteria. So that is something that, again, with kitchen chemists, I'm not sure what the equipment you're using. I don't know if you're sterilizing it. Are you sterilizing it to the point where, there isn't any bacteria, yeast, and mold coming in? So we have to do that preservative testing to make sure that the preservative that you're using is killing off the bacteria, yeast, and mold.
Which is important, right?
Yes.
Yes, that's like I said, this is a workshop, y'all. You're going to get some information that's going to really help you move forward. So that's really important. So I know you're in a male-dominated industry, so being in a male-dominated industry, what are some of the challenges and how do you overcome those challenges?
While I was working in the industry, working for someone else in the industry, it was definitely some bumps and bruises that definitely happened before starting my own. And it was with management. A lot of these contract manufacturers or manufacturers are male dominated and their consumer is a woman of color. So, and then your board of directors or your managers or supervisors aren't women of color. So there was always a disconnect between, what was being put out there and the consumer. So of course, you start to share your ideas, you start to be a little bit more innovative, and then you get shut out for doing it. Or, you're told to just formulate, you're not really encouraged to be innovative. You're not encouraged to have a voice. So that is actually one of the biggest reasons why I wanted to start Cindy J. For one, of course, I want to be my own boss, definitely. Right. but I don't want to have that type of culture within my space. So anyone that that will work for Cindy J will definitely be innovative. They'll want to share their ideas. They will want to have some level of comfort that they can come to me and talk about anything. So that was the whole thing as far as that culture shift. I wanted to get away from your regular corporate America and just make the work environment fun. I mean, you have to spend almost 10, 12 hours sometimes at work away from your family. You might as well make it fun.
Yeah, absolutely. I was listening to an NPR podcast, and they mentioned Tony. I can't think of his name. He started Zappos, and he said friendly company, not happy. He became a happy company. And you're right. If you're not happy, doing the work that you're doing, one, you shouldn't be doing it. And if you're bringing in employees, you want to make sure that they're invested in this happiness and the vision of your company as well.
Exactly.
So how many employees do you have? Do you have any employees now?
Yeah, so I currently have my mom. She is.
You got that family and friends going on.
Yeah, she's a retiree of Progressive Insurance.
Oh, okay.
She actually just retired December of 2021.
Okay.
She came right on board, and it's mainly because she didn't want to sit home and just watch Netflix all the time. She definitely wanted to come in and be active, but she believes in Cindy J. She believes in the growth of Cindy J. So she is definitely my active employee. I do have 3 people who are more on the temporary side, just from a project by project. They're content designers for a project that I have coming up. I'm not going to say too much, but it's a big project coming up for Cindy J.
Oh, you got to come back and tell us this.
Oh, I will. I will. And then I have 3 other people who are just volunteers, just helping me out as far as maybe the finances or the marketing pieces and also the business side.
You got to tell people how you do that. Get volunteers to help you on the marketing and the finance side.
Yeah.
How can people do that? What advice do you give to people? Get to people.
I would say, don't be afraid to ask for help. Sometimes you feel like you can do everything yourself. Sometimes you feel like this is my business. I have to micromanage my business. But that sometimes can, of course, hurt you. Yes, it's your baby, but you got to make sure that your baby is taken care of and that the mother is healthy. I want to make sure I'm healthy. I don't want to be stressed. I don't want to have an emotional disconnection from my business. So I wasn't afraid to ask for help. And then, of course, if I get a little extra funds on the side too, I make sure I disperse that to the team. I disperse that to the volunteers as a thank you. Thank you for helping me. Thank you for coming in on a Sunday and working on the SOPs for me. Or thank you for coming in on a Saturday.
And the operating procedures.
Yes.
Using these abbreviations.
But I definitely have to reward my volunteers, definitely.
All right, good deal. So that's a good strategy that we can individuals can use. Oftentimes working solo can really burn you out, stress you out, and sometimes make you ill. So I'm glad to see that you have those items in place. All right, so I do want to go back to something that you said, and you didn't say this word, but I'm gonna say it. As entrepreneurs, one of the things that we tend not to focus a lot on is take care of ourselves. Whether it be the mental or the body, if you will. So mental health for entrepreneurs. So what's your thoughts on that? Mental health, making sure that you take care of yourself and you're not in the lab 24/7, 7 days a week.
Yeah, I had to learn that the hard way. And like you said, just with mental health and physical health, they go hand in hand. It's something that should be a priority with anything. I know we try to make business that priority. We try to make making money a priority, making sure that your team is healthy, but you have to make sure that you yourself are healthy. Last year actually opened my eyes to a lot. I was overly stressed. I had lost 2 of my closest family members back to back, one in March, one in April. I was a maid of honor to my best friend, so planning a bachelorette party. Opening up my 800 square foot laboratory facility from a 120 square foot facility. Wow. So like doing that transition. And then on top of that, with my parents separating. So there was a lot of things happening to Cynthia Johnson that I had to take a step back and say, you got to prioritize your life. You know, you got to first, number one, you have to keep God first. You definitely have to. My spiritual healing had to be number one. And then to my mental, you know, just learning about my closest family members or learning about my parents, I had to make sure that I could, one, talk to God about it, and two, make sure I do something about it. You know, I couldn't just sit home in bed and cry it out. I had to get up, pray, and do what I needed to do. So, and also coming up with a schedule too. And scheduling is so important.
Yeah.
It's so important for a business entrepreneur. and you can have so many different types of schedules. I don't like to put all of my activities on one schedule. I like to kind of disperse it. So one schedule being my formulations, another schedule being my spiritual healing, or another schedule being my family time, just so that I know what's happening when. And just like separating those different things. I try to put everything all at once and it doesn't work out. I get stressed out to the point where I'm building up anxiety, to the point where I need to go to the hospital, to the point where it's like, okay, are you okay, Cynthia? We need to really figure this out. So I would definitely say prioritizing and scheduling would be a number one thing for entrepreneurs when it comes to mental health and physical health.
Wow, definitely appreciate that. Thank you for sharing that as well, because it is important. You know, whether you're an entrepreneur or not, mental health, physical health, spiritual health is really important to kind of keep your body and to keep the energy moving, if you will. All right, so let's wrap this up and let's go back to school. Okay. So what advice would you give to Lincoln University as it relates to entrepreneurship? First of all, did they teach entrepreneurship when you were there?
I couldn't even tell you. I really couldn't. I'm
assuming I said no. Oh no, because you were focused on the chemistry side. You weren't even on. Okay, all right.
Because I really didn't learn entrepreneurship until after I left Lincoln. So while I was at Lincoln, I'm thinking about basketball, volleyball, and chemistry. But they did, of course, had the business majors. But I'm not sure if they had like an entrepreneurship course. But I would say that, especially nowadays, especially with your millennials and your Gen Zs, you definitely want to offer those entrepreneurship courses, or even offer entrepreneurship workshops. You know, having those workshops, or letting people that are in entrepreneur programs or entrepreneur businesses and coming back to talk to them about what happened after Lincoln. You know, how did I steer my Lincoln degree and utilize that, or did not utilize that, into business? And kids or young adults need to hear that, and sometimes they think, oh, I'm going to college and I'm majoring in, journalism, but then I end up getting into sales. Sometimes that's okay, and there needs to be someone there to tell them that that's okay. You're here to find your journey, to find your path, but it's going to prepare you for that outside world.
I love that. All right, give back, come back. All right, so how has Lincoln, attending the HBCU really helped you, not only in business, but in life?
In life, it really showed me that I'm trying to not be so deep, but
be deep. This is the show where you can be deep.
Gotta be deep. It really showed me that I love my Black people. I'm gonna be straight up. I love my Black people. Yes, we may be doing some crazy things at times, like last night with Will Smith and, and Chris Rock, but I just love how, it's always us against the world, and we don't want that division. We really don't. But sometimes people put us in that place where we have to stick together and go against the grain. And just attending an HBCU, attending a historically Black college, just showed me that you got to stick beside your people. We can't be crabs in a barrel. We had ancestors fighting for us to get to this point. So it really just shaped my mindset. I mean, coming into Lincoln, I really didn't have a lot of knowledge between Black studies. I didn't have a lot of knowledge of what it takes to attend the HBCU, because I just didn't have that, that foundation. That foundation stemmed, of course, from my parents and learning about my Black people, but really that unity of Black people, you're really going to learn that from an HBCU. So I just thank like the professors there. I thank my coaches there. My coaches really instilled that mindset, definitely. And I just thank just the people there. I mean, again, Lincoln University is located in the middle of an Amish community. It's located, within a lot of white people around us. So we had to stick together. We had to. Whether we went to Walmart or going to Applebee's, we had to stick together. So that really helped and shaped my mindset for today.
All right. Well, again, I really thank you for coming on and sharing. I mean, this goes by so quick, but it's quick and powerful information. So once again, how can people find out more information about the wonderful work that you're doing?
Yes, so you can follow my Instagram at Cindy J Labs. And you can also, of course, if you have questions about formulation, or if you have questions about starting your own line, your hair care, skincare line, you can always reach us at www.cindyjlabs.com. Or you can follow us on LinkedIn for Cindy J.
This goes by so. Oops, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
You're all good.
You too. No, go ahead. Finish.
LinkedIn for Cindy J Cosmetic Labs, and also Facebook of Cindy J Cosmetic Labs.
All right. So don't bog her down, y'all, because she got to make money. I know she said you can call her with advice on formulation. So the first 5 minutes is free. After that, it's going to be a fee. All right. Okay. So that's the thing with entrepreneurs. We always want to give stuff away. So she's giving the stuff away by being on this podcast. All right. So Cynthia, again, thank you for, coming on board. I'm going to transition. It's only going to take 5 minutes. You can stay on if you want. I need you to stay on because I always get confused about sharing my screen. Tell me if you can see the slide presentation. Can you see the slide presentation?
Yep, I can see it.
All right, we're going to go through this really quick, y'all. Y'all know how we do this. All right, so again, thanks, Cindy, for coming on board. Just wanted to share with you what we're doing with the HBCU by association. So just imagine it's 107 HBCUs, and just imagine alum coming from all of those universities working together, building up, working, learning, and playing together, and then going back into the school, creating economic empowerment, as well as around the universities that we all graduate from, and just building that economic empowerment. Just imagine that. And that's what we're looking to do. We're creating this platform for us and by us, where we can really work together. So I'm not doing it alone. So I do have a co-founder. We also have students that we're going to be working with. So we're going to have student clubs on campus. We got those raving fans, those ambassadors of HBCUs that are going to be working as well. And then we got the HBCU by Association Council. And these are individuals that are part of the alumni, I'm gonna say ecosystem, if you will. So they're gonna be assisting us as well. So one of the things that I truly believe in is customer discovery. There we go. That's the big picture I wanted to say. Customer discovery. Oftentimes we think as entrepreneurs, we come up with a product or service and say, you know what, everybody gonna buy this, but that's not necessarily the case. So what we're doing is we're conducting this, what we call customer discovery. So we want to hear from you. Here's the short link for it. As a matter of fact, I'll put it on our website homepage where you can just click on that. And if you can help us out by taking that quick survey to talk about some of your entrepreneurial needs. That's if you're an entrepreneur and if you're looking to become an entrepreneur as well. The two events that are coming up, Collegiate Entrepreneurship Collegiate Association of Startup Entrepreneurs is our student initiative that we're working on. So we have an event on April 28th. If you know of any students that are currently at an HBCU, please share. Actually, just have them go to the website, HBCU by Association. By next week, we'll have a flyer that we can share with you. And then on my birthday, June the 8th, y'all, guess what? We're going to have the HBCU Alumni Entrepreneurship event. I'm trying to think, do I want to have it in Baltimore or do I want to go to my new favorite city is Tampa? That's where it's warm, y'all. So I'm trying to figure out where I want to have this, but it's going to be just a couple hours of entrepreneur alums sharing some resources to really help us build up. And then this is how you can reach us on all of our social media. So yeah, if you go to any of these, you can reach us. If you want to send me an email, just go to info@hbcu.com. And I got to play the music as we go out. I want to really thank you again for coming. Look at that. I haven't even played the music, or the music is playing. There we go. There we go. I really want to thank you, Cindy, for coming on.
Yes, thank you for having me, Omar. I always appreciate it.
All right. Thank you. And don't forget, next week, y'all, we'll be back with another episode of the HBCU Daily Grind. Until then, continue to improve and progress.